The White House now apologizing for posting an unedited version of this photo of U.S. Special Forces in Israel. Now, we've blurred out any identifiable details, but the White House did not. They say, quote, "As soon as this was brought to our attention, we immediately deleted the photo. We regret the error and any issues it may have caused."
And we regret the error doesn't cut it here, Todd, right? Why did it happen? It was a pathetic attempt to try to prop up the commander-in-chief and Joe Biden to show that he's hands-on in handling these wars, multiple wars now, that are going on around the world. And you look at the president's schedule today, let's see how hands-on he is. He doesn't get the daily briefing, Todd, until 9:30 a.m. It is a Friday, and there isn't a war going on or anything, so, you know, let him sleep in for a little bit. He then attends a U.S.-EU summit at noon. The president then participates in a campaign reception at 6 p.m., and then he flies to his beach house in Delaware for the weekend. So you look at the optic, and that's one thing, and then you look at the way this president conducts himself on a daily basis during, obviously, a very tense time in the Middle East, and that says quite another, Carly.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We're facing an inflection point in history, one of those moments where the decisions we make today are going to determine the future for decades to come. Hamas and Putin represent different threats, but they share this in common. They both want to completely annihilate a neighboring democracy, completely annihilate it. I know these conflicts can seem far away, and it's natural to ask, why does this matter to America? So let me share with you why making sure Israel and Ukraine succeed is vital for America's national security. If we don't stop Putin's appetite for power and control in Ukraine, he won't limit himself just to Ukraine. Putin attacks a NATO ally. We will defend every inch of NATO which the treaty requires and calls for. And if we walk away and let Putin erase Ukraine's independence, would-be aggressors around the world would be emboldened to try the same. The risk of conflict and chaos could spread in other parts of the world, in the Indo-Pacific, in the Middle East, especially in the Middle East. The United States and our partners across the region are working to build a better future for the Middle East. American leadership is what holds the world together. American alliances are what keep us, America, safe. American values are what make us a partner that other nations want to work with. To put all that at risk, if we walk away from Ukraine, if we turn our backs on Israel, it's just not worth it. That's why tomorrow I'm going to send to Congress an urgent budget request to fund America's national security needs, to support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine. Is a smart investment that's going to pay dividends for American security for generations. In Israel, we must make sure that they have what they need to protect their people today and always. The security package I'm sending to Congress and asking Congress to do is an unprecedented commitment to Israel's security. If Hamas does not divert or steal these shipments, we're going to provide an opening for sustained delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance for the Palestinians. You know, and here at home, we have to be honest with ourselves. In recent years, too much hate has given too much oxygen. We must renounce violence and vitriol. See each other not as enemies, but as fellow Americans.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. There's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country. MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans quote a clear and present danger to our democracy.
On Ukraine, I'm asking Congress to make sure we can continue to send Ukraine the weapons they need to defend themselves and their country without interruption. May God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
The White House now apologizing for posting an unedited version of this photo of U.S. Special Forces in Israel.